I'm going to take you through how I processed and mixed the vocals in Water Has Memory to take it from this
Water has memory, water has memory.
to this.
Water has memory, water has memory.
We're going to look at the verse vocals so there's a little bit less going on and it'll be easier to hear. This is what they sound like.
Told you to watch out, don't go too far.
I should quickly mention that on the vocal channel itself, we don't really have much processing. We have some pitch correction with Melodyne and Autotune, some really light EQ, manual de-essing with utility, and then some creative effects with these filters that automate to turn on at certain points during the song. The idea here is to get the vocals to a baseline before it hits group processing. And since we recorded these vocals here, we had to do some Melodyning, Autotune, that type of stuff. First on the chain here is saturation with the FABFILTER Saturn. It's on the warm tape setting and the drive is at about 35% to add some warmth and presence to the vocal. Next is the Pro Q3 with some static and dynamic cuts. It's helping with some boxiness in the low mids here, and then it's helping with some harshness in the like 2 to 4K range. The SM7B records really heavily in the low mids, kind of chesty area, so I need a decent amount of carving here to help balance it out. Next is some light compression with the 1176. These are the settings. There's a medium attack and a medium fast release, and this is a really important point when it comes to vocal compression. It almost works as a trade-off where the more you compress your vocal, the less emotion gets preserved in the actual recording. I wanted this to be a super emotionally driven, like lush, spacey vocal, so surprisingly, there's almost no compression happening on these vocals during the verse. So if I play this, watch the needle over here.
Told you to watch out, told you you'd burn out, you're too deep.
Right, this compressor's hardly doing anything. But if I were to head down to the chorus vocal group and I pull up the 1176 on that chain,
Water has memory, water has memory.
there's so much going on in the track, so we needed the vocal here to be more upfront and in your face so it can compete with everything else. But during the verse, I wanted it to feel like Julia was in this really spacey room with the listener, like almost singing to them. Next is OTT at 6%, so a really small amount. I find that OTT helps rebalance the vocals a little bit where it controls the low mids and adds a little bit of brightness. Another dynamic cut with the Pro Q3 to help with boxiness. I'm really spreading this responsibility out across a few different plugins. But again, this is specific to our microphone, our setup, our vocalist, so you might not need to do this much carving. Some manual volume adjustments with utility to just really help nail the performance and emotion. Sooth to help with harshness in the 2 to 5K range.
But you're dripping off my lips.
Really small amount of fresh air, 2% to add some brightness. Some multiband compression with neutron as kind of a last stage to help control that boxiness.
But you're dripping off my lips.
A final stage of de-essing to help catch any really loud sibilants, but most of the time this isn't even touching the track.
But you're dripping off my lips.
I have an EQ here that's catching a resonance at one point in the song, a little bit more gain adjustment, and I could have put this on the utility that was earlier on in the chain, but hey, I didn't. And that's it. We have saturation for fullness and presence, EQing to help shape the vocal, light compression, de-essing, and manual gain adjustments to really help nail the performance. And this is what we end up with.
Told you to watch out, don't go too far. But you're dripping off my lips, a miracle.
This song is it if you want to check out the full thing. Let me know if you want me to go into any more detail about these vocals, processing, reverb, delay, tuning, any of that stuff. Hope this helps.